Okay, we are live on the TikTok and live on the YouTube a little bit later than what I was planning. I was planning to be here directly at 7, but we're 17 minutes into 7. So hello, everyone, and good evening. What is up? Reaper, you were not first. Daily reminder, Baby Yoda tastes good. Wow. That's what you're feeling like tonight. What's up, guys? Welcome in. All right, we are here. Ghost Riley, hello. Are zombies allowed in your Discord server? Not that I know of. I have a couple guests that I'm bringing in tonight. It's going to be really fun. Tonight, as you can see by the title, we're talking about the Bo-Katan fan film. And I did a live stream a little while ago talking about this, but I'm excited to give you guys a little more talk and perspective on it, man. So let me bring in my good friend and the director himself, Mr. Gabriel. There he is. What's up, man?
Hey, Karan. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for waiting. I know I was bouncing around. I was in another live stream, so it was I was sorry for the wait, my friend.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And I pronounced your name right.
You did.
Okay, good. Our friend Carlos, hopefully he'll be joining us.
Okay.
He has a very busy schedule, but I think he should be hopefully coming on here pretty soon. We could just talk amongst each other in the meantime.
Absolutely, man. It was. I just got out of another stream with a couple buddies from TikTok, other creators, and we were just talking about Star Wars, of course. So, and we're here talking about more Star Wars. What's up, guys? Can you please share my name? Your name is really long. I'm so sorry. What's up, guys, in the chat? I see you, Chris Petro. I have 2 good news and 1 bad news about my hunt for Grogu. Oh, wow. My commenters. So, man, I'm so glad to see you here today. Lots of fun. I mean, I have a couple things I guess I could show you. There's some other things I gotta finish working on in terms of prop stuff, but I can always do that in a little bit later in the stream. But anyway, man, how's things been with you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Feeling good about the whole film and stuff, and outside the film, doing really good. But the film is coming along very, very good. Yeah. What about you, man?
I'm excited, just small little life updates. So, for us today, it's been like nonstop, but it's been great. It's good stuff. So, we went to we did a viewing of our house that we're about to buy. So that was really fun. And we'll be moving into our house in about a month. So it's crazy. It's bananas, man. We're very excited about that.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, man. So it's just nice to finally, when you've been looking at and salivating over a house for so long and finally being able to walk inside, it's been really cool. So we did that. And other than that, man, I got casted for a commercial Friday. I got to go do that. TikTok has been great. What are we at, like 150K, right, guys? We're at a little over 150K. So things are blowing up there like crazy. And it's just been fun just meeting so many new people. A new friend and content creator. I just got off of his podcast, and he's, an amazing, content creator, Star Wars, Darth Chaco. You guys know Chaco. So I just got off of his podcast, which was really cool. And I hope to go back on. Hope to hang out with him more, man. It was really fun. So yeah, today's just been boom, 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 boom. But I had coffee and I'm good. I'm good to go, man. So let's talk Star Wars. Let's talk Bo-Katan.
Awesome.
I feel like we could probably use a bit of a refresher. You and I, we did our stream a little while ago. And by the way, folks, this is my good friend and director, Gabriel. He is, the vision behind this Star Wars fan film that's all about Bo-Katan. I'll briefly just give a small synopsis, but then I'll let you take it away and kind of get into more intimate details and the heart of the project. But anyway, this is really dealing with Bo-Katan and kind of, I don't want to necessarily say her finding herself just by me reading the script, but it's more of like, stepping into you guys have ever had a job where you had to step into a role of leadership, but you yourself didn't really feel like man, I don't feel qualified for this. Like, what makes you qualified? You know what I mean? And if I could give a theme, another theme to that, it's almost like that. When you think of this film, it's like Star Wars Rebels fans, you're gonna love this film. And then anyone who can relate to, like, man, stepping into a particular role or position in your life where it's like you have to take on this new responsibility, but then what makes one qualified? How do you get there? And particularly talking about like being a leader of Mandalore, I think it's going to be really fun to see that explored, for her character in this film. And then, not only that, yours truly gets to be a part of it. So I'm very excited for that as well. I get to play 2 characters, which we will talk about a little bit later. But enough from me. Gabriel, again, because I feel like it's been a little gap since I had you on last. Can you talk about early moments for where did the idea come from again for the film, kind of the heart for it, and then what are some things that folks can expect in terms of this Bo-Katan fan film?
Absolutely. So people who have seen the full Rebels series, this is it kind of ties into season 4. So if you remember Heroes of Mandalore Part 1 and Part 2, that's the first and second episode of season 4. The film that I am making, it takes place immediately after that. And I was just really interested in Bo-Katan's character, and I thought that it would be really cool to explore what she does after she receives the Darksaber. We don't see that at all. Yep. And I just wanted to take it from there. And that's where the whole idea started from. And then I wrote it, and I got really inspired about everything, and just took it from there. And Dadalorian jumped in, and now he's a part of the project, which is great. And we're making costumes together and stuff.
Yeah.
So, so it's awesome. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Bo-Katan, she has a small role in the Star Wars universe, but in my opinion, her character is pretty important. Her family, the people who she knows, the people who affect her or who she affects. She meets the whole Ghost crew in Rebels, and she meets Obi-Wan Kenobi, Satine Kryze, the Duchess of Mandalore is her sister. She encounters Darth Maul. She is the lieutenant for Pre Vizsla in the Death Watch. She has all kinds of stuff going on, and yet she's not a very large character in the whole Star Wars canon. So I just wanted to explore her character more and dig into her character and see what we can make out of it and how we can reveal more about her character for the fans.
Yeah, and Gabe, I'm so excited to not only be a part of this film, but to see it all come together, the way it is. And I'm sure you'll probably get into this a little bit. I mean, if you want to, I know for filming and production wise, that a lot of that is going to be happening this month. So we're really excited to kind of see everything come together with all of that. It's going to be really fun. Now, one thing I did mention before, and I brought Gabe on, probably like a few weeks ago, and we talked about kind of what comes after. So, when you think of Hollywood, when you think of films, when you think of fan films, all that stuff. And I do have to say this again, and I said it before on our last live stream, fan films are one of those things I feel like are not to be slept on, particularly these days, because it's such an amazing gift that we get to have in the fandom, where it's like, if you have this idea, if you have this vision that you want to see to come to life, it's like you get to just create it, man. It's amazing. So, and particularly with Star Wars, I'm like, the more that we can get, bring it on. I'm excited to see more. So, and one other thing with this fan film that I think is going to be really interesting too is that, Gabe, you kind of touched on something too, where it's like, Bo-Katan, she's not really this prominent character. She really fits well with other folks. You tend to see that, at least how she's been used. It's like what Star Wars has done with her, they hulked her. You know how the Hulk, like in the MCU, like he's great with other characters, but as far as his like own movie, it's like, you know what I mean? Maybe there was like a couple that we had, but he said he tends to do, like, certain characters tend to do better in the midst of other folks.
Not on their own.
Right,
That's exactly what they did with the Hulk. Like they
Yep.
found out that the first couple Hulk movies didn't do very well, but people
Right.
still like the character, so they just bring him into other movies.
Element Avengers, he'll do good there. So, and I feel like Bo-Katan, she's kind of like, similar in that sense. But, I'm excited for this project and to be a part of it because again, we may not see a standalone, thing for Bo-Katan, but here we do get to have that here. We do get to have that moment where her story and different things are explored in that project. And I think that's going to be really fun, especially for those who are Bo-Katan fans, Mandalorian fans. I think this is going to be something you will really enjoy. Now, one of the things I was saying, I don't know if you've given any thought to, I mean, we talked briefly about it. And, before we go into details about, stuff regarding the film, this is just looking, I know, we were like, we like to be here in the now. What's the quote? We just talked about this in the stream I was in. It's, it was a quote that Yoda said to Luke, where it's like, he's always looking here and there, but never here in the now. So
Yeah.
I like to be in the now, but I can't help but look towards the future when I think of this project. So if and when it does blow up, what are your thoughts on? All right, this film was a success. I really I told the story that I wanted to tell, but is there something more in you that would say, hey, I would consider doing a web series for, Bo-Katan. Now, with that though, what would you say would be like, okay, if we're going to do a series, I'm going to say we're going to do a max of like, I don't know, 5-6 episodes. So if you could choose just maybe by title and maybe by theme, for you, maybe some things you've thought about, what would you say? Like, yeah, these are what the 5 or 6 episodes would be if I were going to do a web series that like, these are the chapters we would focus on. What would you say you would do in that sense?
Gotcha. Hypothetically, I think I would make a series about the Darksaber.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily Bo-Katan is the main, character of the series, but the Darksaber is the main character of the series.
Oh God, yes. Can we just have that now, please? Oh yes.
Yeah, because it goes into so many people's hands and it has so much history.
Yep.
Before the movies and then like during the Mandalorian and into season 3 of Mandalorian, which is going to be awesome to see. There's so much that can happen, and like say hypothetically it is 6 episodes. I would like to start from like the very beginning, showing Tar Vizsla thousands of years ago. He's the first Mandalorian Jedi. Yeah, and he's the one who creates the Darksaber. That would be cool to have an episode on him, and the second episode maybe goes to pre-Vizsla. And then like it goes into Darth Maul's hands, and then because there's like we see it go into each other's hands, but we don't see we do, but not to an extent see what they do with the Darksaber. Yeah. We just know that like Darth Maul had it, and then he like fought Darth Sidious with it, but he lost it, and then we don't really see what happens in between. So kind of just filling the gaps with more content.
Yeah, no, for sure. As you were talking, I was looking up, I'm going to share my screen so you can, I think this would just be really cool. As you say that, I feel like it'd be really cool because, we know this much. It started with Tar Vizsla, as you were saying, who was a Force-sensitive Mandalorian who created the Darksaber. So it's like that could be chapter 1, and then after that, it goes into, pre-Vizsla, at least that we know, someone else secondary that's had it.
Yeah, that we see in the canon.
Yeah. And then we know that Kanan Jarrus briefly had it in Rebels, where he was kind of like working and training with Sabine, and then it goes into Sabine's hands. And then Darth Maul, Darth Maul gets the saber.
Yeah.
And then Bo-Katan. Well, and then you have Moff Gideon. And then also, of course, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. So it's like, wow, I really want that.
I know, right?
I really want that now, man. But I think that would be so cool, and I really hope you would consider it, man. I really do, because it's like that's a concept within itself that I feel like hasn't been explored. Is like making where it's not really about the main character. There's not a main character, but there's a main object Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that would be so fun when you think towards the future of things. But I digress.
that would be
To the
awesome. Yeah.
cheers to the future.
And the dark saber is such a unique lightsaber. It's like
Yeah.
the
Yep.
only black lightsaber that I can think of, and it has a different sound than the iconic lightsaber sounds, and it's like a flat blade. And
Yeah.
the very first Mandalorian in the Jedi Order created it. Like it's such a cool thing, and I think it has a pretty strong fan base around it too. And yeah, it would be cool to just follow it. And I really want to know how Moff Gideon gets the dark saber, and we might explore that in the film. You'll just have to watch it and see for all the people watching. But
yeah, man,
we may or may not explore how Moff Gideon ends up with the dark saber. So
and to get into that, it's really fun. I'll have you talk about the Mando character that I'm playing. He's not really doing much, but it's cool. And I really think that's nice. I thank you so much for allowing me to play these characters, which is going to be so fun. For my TikTok and YouTube folks, yes, in this film I get to play a Mandalorian. I'm not playing Din Djarin, but I do get to be a Mandalorian that you will see in the film. But not only that, I get to also play one of the villains in this film, Moff Gideon himself, which is going to be really, really fun. And what I've been doing is working on the armor. I'm almost done with like the main piece is all done. It's just like the undergarments of things, which is really fun. I love doing that. So this project is so different because it's fun where and I thank you, Gabe, for allowing me to be able to kind of put my touch on things where it's like, if you're a creative, do that, and I think that's, when you have directors that are welcoming in that sense, it's always just very nice. So I don't think I got a chance to say that before, but I say it now, like, thank you for allowing me to be able to utilize my creativity in that sense, which I just absolutely love.
Definitely. So, and thank you for working on it. It's going to be really great.
Yeah, man. Someone asked, "Am I emo?" No. What? I get my TikTok comments they're fantastic. I don't know if I. What about the Jar Jar Binks? The Beatrice Sith. I mean, that would be a fun. Honestly, thanks for asking that, because I want to see that. Gabe, I don't know if you're gonna do it. If you don't do it, maybe one day I'll do it. But there's this thought of. And I wouldn't doubt it. Even my boy Darth Choco mentioned this like a few videos ago. It was a while ago, but talking about episode 1, and there was this thought that Jar Jar, because if you look at some of the interviews, it was talked George Lucas was saying, if this movie works, Jar Jar is the key to everything. So when you hear a statement like that, you're like, well, what does that mean? So there's also been these theories that, what if Jar Jar was actually a Sith? Like he was a dark side user. And it would make so much sense if you think about it, because, what did Jar Jar do? He was, kind of the friend, but he was klutzy. He was clumsy. He would make things, accidentally happen. He was also the person that got Palpatine into power, to become the Senate. So if you think if there were somebody else, kind of purposely orchestrating things, that would have made sense, but the character got so much hate during the time of the prequels. They were like, okay, scrap that idea. We're just gonna, put him on the back burner and move forward. So, but I wouldn't doubt it, if that was the original intent. Now, here's my thought. Thank you for mentioning that and bringing that up. Gabe, if you were ever to consider doing another fan film, I think this would be great. So there is a book, I can't remember which one it is. I'm paraphrasing, but we learn pretty much of Jar Jar's fate, where he's now just a street performer that's outcast and no one really wants to do with him, because it's because of him that Palpatine got into power. So now that folks know that he's just outcast and he's a street performer. So I thought it would be funny. I have this vision. I did a TikTok on it months ago, where it was just imagine some little girl that walks up to him and everyone is just kind of shunning him on the street. He's kind of like the street clown, street performer, kind of homeless in a sense. But this little girl kind of reminds him of Padme, and she needs help. For better lack of words, her cat is stuck in a tree or some shit. I don't know. And Jar Jar is there to basically to help her. And this little girl kind of reminds him of Padme, kind of bringing him back to that moment of his past. So, there's that good piece but at the very end of the film, you know, you see like he's like, you know, I'm so sad that I failed my master, and kind of revealing like he was a Sith Lord in some sense. I don't know, you know, that's the idea. I just envision like him getting his redemption. Like if you can redeem the character, it would be revealing what he really was. I think that would be really interesting. You know,
yeah, that would be super cool. Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds like you have like the whole story
Yeah,
in your head already.
It's gonna be in my head. If you want the script, do what you will with it. So yeah. So
Yeah.
that's an idea. But yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
bringing that up. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, we got a few people in the chat. I see my boy Nico. What's up, man? See me in 8 years making a fan film, right? Hey, you and I will connect one of these days, man. Absolutely. And hey to everyone tuning in. So yeah, this film is going to be really exciting, man. Now, in terms of as far as like film days and location wise, without spoiling anything, what can you say to fans like, hey, this is what you can expect, you know, when like the first trailer, and mind you, you know, Gabe, whenever you're willing, you know, once we go further in terms of filming, I would always love to share, you know, if you got footage for a trailer, of course, we're going to put that up here. As long as you will it, I would love to do that.
Definitely.
But what can you say like, hey, this is the idea that I have for the trailer, and this is something that, you know, I want the audience to see. What would you say would kind of be in that trailer for this Bo-Katan film?
Yeah, so I tend not to watch trailers. When I make films, of course, I make trailers. I want the film to gain steam and stuff.
Yep.
The reason why I don't usually watch trailers for, I don't know, Star Wars and Marvel movies is because I don't want to see any spoilers.
Yeah,
and,
right? Don't even go on the internet at this point, right? Right.
And I think that, you know, the people who make trailers have gotten a lot better about that because they understand that so many fans don't want anything spoiled for them. But what you can watch the trailer for this film and with full confidence know that there's not going to be any spoilers in there. Now, we'll reveal characters in the trailer, of course, yep, but like no major things that are going to give anything away at all. So definitely feel free to watch the trailers without worrying about spoilers. You heard it from me. You know my position on it. I don't like to see spoilers and stuff. So I'm hoping to get a trailer out maybe in the fall sometime, because we are hoping to get this film released to everyone in sometime, maybe November, December, but definitely in 2021 by the end of this year for sure. So trailers, and Dadalorian, you're definitely welcome to put the trailer on there and, you know, stuff like that, promote it and get the word out there. So I feel the film catching steam already, which is great.
Yeah, man. There's another thought that came to mind, and this is kind of thinking of more of like the future thing that I was talking about with, you know, when we think about the dark saber and kind of a spinoff of this film. And it could be live action, but then there's always been this idea that I've had in my mind, and I'm running it by you, just bouncing ideas as we talk about elements of the Bo-Katan film. But when I think about the dark saber and then like this kind of series for, you know, going forward with it, it would be, I wonder, like a visual, I don't know, like a visual comic, you know what I mean, that has illustration. I almost wonder, like, would that be cool as well? Like, for each chapter of the Darksaber. So, like that first chapter, we get this visualization that's almost like it's a drawn-out comic, but that focuses on Tar Vizsla, and then the next one's pre-Vizsla. So almost like this visual journey that's like almost like a comic book in a sense, but drawn out and has voice illustrations for characters. I don't know. I was visualizing, and maybe that's elements of, that project. I don't know. I thought that would be kind of cool too. Just thinking, into the future.
And I love comics and graphic novels and stuff like that. Like that's they really get deep into the cinematography too. Like you wouldn't think that comics would have cinematography, but each frame in the comic itself is a frame that could be in a film. Like you could just literally take that verbatim and translate that into a film if you want to. I mean, in a way, it's kind of storyboarding.
Yep. So it's an idea, something. I was like, something, and there's this thing in my heart, man, that I have this heart for animation, for doing something with Star Wars down the road. So it's there. I'm thinking about it. So you and I will have to talk more.
Yeah, and I love the idea about you just fill the whole thing with audio. Like you have the visual, but then you have the voice actors acting it out, and then there's like sounds like a starship or like the lightsaber swinging, and like you hear all that stuff. That would be super cool.
Yeah, man. So it's an idea. That's an idea too. When I think about that particular project, like what could we do different? That might be kind of fun too. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, man. So I'm excited for this film. Obviously, like I told you guys, I get to play a couple characters. I'll be playing Moff Gideon. And I'll also be playing one of the Mandalorians that's a part of the film. I think the Mando I'm playing, he doesn't have a prominent role, but I'll be there, and it's fun for me because I'm like, that's my background. I come from the Buckethead kind of the way of TikTok and cosplaying and whatnot. So it's just a fun little callback to kind of be in a bucket in the film as well. But could you talk? I don't think Moff Gideon has a crazy presence in the film, but what could you say, hey, this is kind of what you guys could expect? Because I think there's these moments of things where we've all had that question of like, how did he get the Darksaber? So is that something that you will tease, or is that like something you're like, you know what, we're gonna keep hush hush on this for now until they see the film? Can you talk anything about Moff Gideon, the guy I'm playing? What can they expect for that guy?
Yeah. So for that guy, I'm so interested in where Moff Gideon came from. Yeah. Because he just shows up at the end of season 1. Yeah. And with so much confidence in this presence, and he already has the Darksaber, and I'm just like wondering.
It's a mystery. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have no doubt that Lucasfilm will explain more. Yeah. But for the meantime, I figured I would write him into this film since my film takes place during Rebels season 4. Yeah. So, it takes place, I don't know, 20, 30 years before Mandalorian. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. So like 27 years maybe before Mandalorian. So, and, Moff Gideon, he is a Moff in Mandalorian. So he's very, very high ranking. And I wanted to see where he was at during Rebels because he had to have been in the Galactic Empire to some extent. Yeah. So what the fans can see in the film is Moff Gideon when he's maybe 27 years younger. Yep. And he climbs up the ranks very quickly because he plays dirty. He doesn't play by the book. He just gets what he wants. And so that's what you can expect from the film in Moff Gideon. And we do explore, since Bo-Katan, the Darksaber, and Moff Gideon are in it, I can't confirm with you all right now if, he does acquire the Darksaber, but it may be something that we explore. And you'll just have to watch it and find out.
We can't spoil everything. You guys got to see the film, so for sure. No, but I think that's really exciting, man. I think you put it on the head where, he's a Moff, so he is very high ranked. So it's like, and I've had that question too. Like, man, he must have been very hungry, during that time when he was younger and just killing it, working hard in terms of the Empire. But then there's also that sad piece to it when you think about the character, because it's like, this is dating 27 years, before the Mandalorian, and he's been in the Empire that long. And you think about the Empire and just kind of their tight-fisted personality, and even in the I'm trying to grab it. I'm going to finish it tonight. I've been telling folks for the last few weeks I was going to finish this, and I'm going to finish it. But anyway, so reading this book, they talk about this is Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view, and there's a chapter where they talk about the Empire, and they're like, if anyone is in the Empire, you think you're starting off maybe doing a good cause, but if you stay long enough, either you've become corrupted or you've become lost in a sense. I'm paraphrasing. And so, when you talk about Moff Gideon, it's like, wow, he's been in there for for a long time. It's just like, he's this tyrant. He's become this tyrant himself. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see this younger version of him too, where it's like, yeah, he was hungry, wanting to climb those ranks, and what did he do to get there? You know what I mean? Which I think is just so interesting. And just thinking about the empire of like how gross it is, but this guy has been a part of it for so long. But what did he do all those years ago to get to where he is? I think it's going to be really interesting just to see him, and just to see him back in that time frame in general is just going to be really cool.
Definitely,
So,
yeah. And you bring up a good point with his character arc, and I'm a big proponent of having well-developed characters, well-rounded characters, and with Moff Gideon, he starts off and he's climbing the ranks and he's hungry, and that was at the height of the Galactic Empire. But when we see Moff Gideon in Mandalorian, that's after the fall of the Empire. So he's just like basically on his own, but like, he's still taking charge, but like, he's kind of like
a shadow
he's like
of the Empire
person, but a shadow. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it would be really interesting to see Moff Gideon like when he actually has people higher up to answer to, like Darth Sidious, for example, Darth Vader, or whoever it may be.
Yeah, it is interesting, man. So I mean, just being able, and it's I use this as an example. I see my buddy in here. I haven't seen him in a long time. What's up, Star Wars Guide? Good to see you, man. I think I'm using this as an example because I absolutely love it. Every Friday I have friends that come over on the show, and we talk about the Bad Batch. And the Bad Batch has done one of those things where we get to see other characters during a certain period of time. I mean, Rebels has done that too, and Clone Wars as well. But particularly with Bad Batch, it's like I guess I use this example like with Cad Bane, and thinking of Boba Fett, and kind of there's this whole speculation of kind of the confrontation that they will have at some point, which we're all like, yes, we want to see that. Absolutely, there's some unused footage that's out there, and we're like, please make this official. We want that to be canonized. So just having those moments where you get to see certain characters, when they were younger or just at a different point in their life is always rewarding, not only for the story, but also for, their character, development. And so just knowing the fact, again, for those who are Star Wars Rebels fans, just knowing the fact that this film, it takes place during that time period. If you're a Star Wars Rebels fan, it's literally like you're turning on Disney Plus and watching a Star Wars Rebels episode. I think it definitely has that tone. Even when I read the script, I was like, oh yeah, I felt that tone. And I think that's something you did great in capturing is the tone of it all. And then not only that, I mean, you add in other elements of like these other characters like Moff Gideon, and like, hey, where were these guys during this time? Well, now we get to have a glimpse of that. But not only that, let's get into Bo-Katan. Gabe, can you talk a little bit about where is her head during this film? Like, what's going on with her, and what is it that the audience can expect when they're watching this film? This is a Bo-Katan film, guys. So if you're a Bo-Katan, fan, you're a Mandalorian fan, you're going to enjoy this. But is it the Bo-Katan that we're used to? And what can they expect from her in this film?
Yeah, we see Bo-Katan in the Star Wars canon, whether it be Rebels, Mandalorian, Clone Wars. We see her, and she's always very confident. But at certain points, sometimes when Din Djarin offers her the Darksaber, she's hesitant. She refuses. She says she failed her people, and that was so interesting. I really liked those lines because it reveals parts of her past that have never been explored before. Yeah. And that's where I went with this film, and with Bo-Katan in my film, is that I wanted to explore those times where she feels like she failed, or where she feels like she wasn't worthy of leading the Mandalorian people, even though she had the Darksaber, this crown of leadership. So the film, it takes place right after Rebels Season 4, Episode 2, where Sabine gives Bo-Katan the Darksaber, which it goes against Mandalorian custom, right?
Yep.
And it's interesting because where her head is at, she doesn't feel like she truly earned the Darksaber and that she is the rightful ruler of Mandalore, because she didn't earn it in combat, like the traditional Mandalorian customs state you should. And so she just feels like she's not worthy of it. She feels like she was a part of the Death Watch and helped Maul take over her home world. She has that weight on her shoulders, and she just really doesn't want to let the people down any more than she already has.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that's something that she has to come to terms with. She has the Darksaber after all. She needs to unite these people. It's her responsibility, her duty. And yeah, it's just very interesting from my perspective to see this very troubled hero go through these challenges and eventually rise above them and do the thing that you were meant to do.
Yeah, no, and I can't wait to see her in that light. I think that's going to be really cool. And this is the right one, right? Heroes of Mandalore Part 2.
Yep. Yeah. So this film takes place right after this one, seconds later.
Wow. I'm going to read this piece here. Sabine learns that the devastating weapon the Empire is using against the Mandalorians is derived from her prototype. She has to decide whether to destroy it or use it herself. Yeah. So I remember that episode. Yeah, if you guys, Rebels watchers, Rebels fans, if you remember, there was like that weapon that, Sabine had created and the Empire kind of took over it and used it basically to wipe out a lot of the Mandalorians, which is crazy. And so this film takes place right after that. So again, like I said, if you're a Rebels fan, the tone and everything, time frame, it's literally all there. And I think that's something I always love in Star Wars. There's like these little pocket dimensions in the films and spots in time where it's like you can make, like, for instance, like, the Kenobi show, for instance, that's one of those things that gives us a moment to go back in a sense. You know what I mean? And I think this film is one of those things as well that's a cool gift where it's like, yeah, now we get to have a moment that takes us back to this point in time, which I think is so fun. And Gabe, there's a lot of things that you're exploring, there with her too. But not only that, particularly with Bo-Katan, we talked about this the last time I had you on. It was kind of one of those things of, when we seen her in The Mandalorian, everyone was so hyped. We were like, yeah, Katie Sackhoff, she returned as Bo-Katan. It's awesome to, see her. She's my hero. And then there was a lot of us who were like, wait, she was a terrorist. It was because of her, like, pretty much her sister got killed. Like, did we all forget this, or was it just me? So no, but yeah, we didn't forget that. Like, but I think this film also plays into a part of, you're not your past, and you get to define who you want to be going forward. And just because you wore one thing before, obviously, and again, this plays more into her character development because, yeah, as you continue to watch, like in Rebels, Clone Wars, yeah, she was a part of Death Watch, but then there was a part of her that did change, and we slowly see that. And I think this film, obviously, this film is like really diving into that, where it's like, yeah, you see even more of that character development, where now she's no longer who she once was, but it's stepping into this role of leadership. But then, yeah, there's so many times where I think there's that relatability many of us can attest to, where it's like, have you ever been in a position where it's like, man, I don't feel qualified. How can I get there? And I think that's going to be really, fun to explore with their character. Gabe, what are some other things you would say you're excited for, for folks to see in this film? Like, what I guess, better question, what do you want people to take away? Like, bigger message, bigger theme. What do you want the audience to take away from this film?
Yeah, I want the audience to, I want them to, think that this is, a canon episode. It's fan made, of course. It can never be canon, but it's kind of like fan canon, maybe.
Yeah,
so it's like, everything happens, and it's not like, these crazy things happen. Like, I don't even know, like Qui-Gon comes back to life or something. I don't know, but like, it's like it all fits into the canon. I just wanted to explore Bo-Katan's character, and also the characters of the Rebels, and just the Darksaber, and just figure all that stuff out. So I made it faithful to the Star Wars canon. So and something that I'm super stoked for all the fans to be seeing in the film is some of these characters in live action for the first time. That would be the Rebels characters, like Sabine and Ezra.
Yep.
we haven't seen them in live action before, and
Yeah.
the fans, you can definitely see that in this film. So I'm super excited about that. Like that's going to be super cool. I mean, even for me, like I'm making the film, but like once I see it on screen, I'm going to be like, wow, like this is great.
Yeah, man. No, Gabe, you may not know this. I don't know if you are familiar with the term of simp or simpery. I am a major simp for this character called Hera Syndulla. If she's in the film, if she's on set, you may have to restrain me just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm throwing that out there. I love me some Hera Syndulla. And I don't think I've seen her in the script, but if I did,
you might have to talk to Kanan Jarrus about that.
Right. Well, I mean, he's gone, so hey, his son needs a new dad. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but I think that would have been fun to see Hera, but perhaps at another time, another project. But yeah, man, I think you're doing something that's going to be amazing, and everyone, all of our viewers, man, you guys are going to really love this film. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to be a part of it. And again, yeah, it's like we can speculate. I think we kind of know, again, we don't know when the Ahsoka show is coming out, number one. So we know there's going to be, that almost feels Rebels-y to me as well, like Ahsoka show. Maybe it's just Ahsoka herself. I kind of associate her, particularly with Clone Wars and Rebels. And then some of the other characters that we know are going to kind of be in that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm sure we'll get to see them live action. But this film, this is going to be that appetizer in between that, before that, where it's like, yeah, now we get to see a different adaptation live action, with these characters, which I think is going to be really cool. Now, this is another thought, kind of diving into future things. Are there other characters? Because I know Bo-Katan, you're a major fan and someone that would attest to like, hey, I really want to dive into her story. But if there was another, Star Wars character that you would say, I would love to tap into doing a story for this character, what would that character be for you? Like if you were like, hey, I really want to do this fan film about this particular character in Star Wars. I mean, like Jabba the Hutt, whatever, whoever, who would it be for you?
Yeah. Well, I'm a huge fan of Darth Vader. Although I know that let's see, Star Wars Theories, for one, they've done the Vader fan film. So I kind of want to stay out of that territory because it's already been done before, although that would be fantastic. And yeah, so many Vader fan films, but I'm a huge fan of Captain Rex and Commander Cody. I love those characters. The clones overall are just super cool to me. And
let's go. I'm
awesome.
with you, man. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be really great. And one of the people who's working with me, he's an actor in the film, has some cosplays of his own, and one of the cosplays is Commander Cody. Yeah. So Captain Rex, Commander Cody fan film might be in the future, but I can't promise anything. Man. But that would be awesome. That would be great.
So yeah, something with the clones. It's always fun seeing the clones whenever we can. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. And then I guess the other question, particularly with this film, so we talked a little bit about dates. I mean, I don't know if you want to share any of that. I always love giving people just little, seeds of information. What's the time frame for like our first day of filming? And then what would you say, like, hey, this is when you guys could expect the first trailer? Like, I guess in terms of your goal, what would you say, like, hey, this is when I want the first trailer out? And then when's the first day of filming?
Yeah, so big reveal, the filming schedule. So we're actually less than 2 weeks out from the first day of filming.
Wow.
Super cool. Yeah, so man. Our first day of filming is going to be on the 16th of July.
Yep.
And we're going to be filming through July, probably wrapped up in August. And then I have to edit up some demo reels for the stunt team who's working on this film.
Yep.
So that'll come first because I have a deadline for that, but I'll be working on the trailer after that. So yeah, I'm thinking August, September or October, expect a trailer for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then prepare for the release in November, December.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I think last time you were on, you did say something about a December release, and I think Essentially, I think that's perfect because it's, kind of plays on that Christmas little gift, and, we also have the Book of Boba Fett that's coming out around that time. So it's like, fans will get hit with like multiple things too. It's like, it's really one of those things like, what a time to be a Star Wars fan, and especially when, and I'm so happy to have you come on, and talking about this because, there's so many other folks that weren't, I see a lot of folks that are here that weren't in the, live before, and they're like, wow, I didn't know there was going to be a Bo-Katan fan film. So, and again, I'm such an adamant fan of Rebels. I mean, I will stand by this. I think, there are things that they did in Rebels that I would say are almost better than Clone Wars. Both, you can't really compare them both, because they're both great in their own way. And I think, Clone Wars was very, I said this before, it's very story arc driven, where, Rebels and the characters that are there, it's very character driven, particularly with that group of characters, and the journey that we get to walk on with them. So comparing them, I try not to do that. But at the same time, Rebels, to me, man, I have to say, like, when I first watched it, which was about 2 years ago. Now, I seen little episodes over the years, but I never really got into it until about 2 years ago. And at first, I was like, I don't think this is gonna be for me. The animation's different from Clone Wars, I was one of those guys.
That was me too.
Right, yeah. And then I sat down and watched it, and I was like, wow, this is some compelling storytelling.
Yeah,
especially, the relationship between Kanan and Ezra, I really adore it. I really love that. And then even getting into moments of grief, even getting moments of, what it means to be a Jedi. And I think they kind of teased it. I don't want to say necessarily like a gray Jedi thing with Ezra, but you can kind of see there was still conflict, with enemies. Kind of always have that in terms of his character. So the things that they did in terms of character development with that group of folks who were, a part of the Ghost Crew was just, absolutely phenomenal. So, instantly, me being an actor, me being a voice actor, and then, I think, it was brothers of mine that sent me this link, for this film. They're like, hey, I think you should check it out. You should, this seems like something that would interest you. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And after reading it, I was like, man, I really want to be a part of this. I was like, anything that gives me a moment to go back, is just such a gift. And this is what that film is. So again, I can't stress that enough. Like, for those who are Star Wars Rebels fans, and if you really love that time frame, this is something that's just so awesome. Like, it's literally going to be that live action moment, but it's going to feel like that Rebels episode. And it's a cool callback, man. So I'm excited to be a part of it. I can't wait to see it all come together. Gabe, anything else that you wanted to talk about pertaining to the Bo-Katan film? And did you have a title? Did we already reveal that?
Yeah, well, I want to throw it out to the audience. Anybody who remembered the title of the film, the first person to comment on it, please comment. And I want to announce the social media accounts on the show tonight as well, if that's cool.
Oh yeah.
I am going to do Instagram and Facebook, and I don't know, maybe Twitter. I'm not sure, but and I haven't created it yet, but I have it all laid out and stuff. And
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was ready to like share the screen. Yeah. So when those are done, for those on TikTok, sorry, someone asked, can you show? You're not showing your face, by the way. I know. I don't. Did you guys forget? I don't show my face on TikTok unless we reach milestones or I have my helmet on. It's the thing over there. So, but anyway, Gabe was saying that there will be social media accounts for the Bo-Katan fan film. So once that's announced, whatever he shares with me, I'm going to be sure to make sure I share with you guys, so you guys will be able to see all of that and all the updates, for the film and everything going forward. So, there should be stuff on Instagram. You said probably Twitter as well, Facebook. So, whatever platform you guys are on, you'll be able to get a little bit of something. So, I can't wait, man. It's going to be amazing. Anything else that you wanted to talk about pertaining to the film, or anything else Star Wars related with the fans while you have them here? And another thing I could do in the midst of that is, if any of you guys had questions, particularly, you're more than welcome to come on and ask. We can give you like I'll give you guys like a 2-minute segment if you guys had specific questions about Star Wars, things you wanted to ask Gabe. You're more than welcome to do that. Why don't I go ahead and pop that in for folks so they can do it in the chat.
And I'll start creating the Instagram account right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's up, guys? I am Grogu's cousin. Why don't you show your face? It's my thing, guys. It's my thing on TikTok. It's Mando. I don't show my face, but I am live on YouTube. So if you want to see my face over there, you're more than welcome to come over. But anyway, on YouTube, I just posted a link. So if anyone does want to pop in, if you guys have specific questions you want to ask myself or Gabe, I just ask you keep it, professional, keep it about Star Wars. And we would definitely love to answer those questions. But yeah, particularly about the film. If you guys have questions about this Bo-Katan fan film that you would like to, ask Gabe, feel free. Or anything about, like Star Wars Rebels, stuff about acting, any of that stuff. If you're an aspiring creative yourself and you need some guidance, you got questions, yeah, feel free to click the link and we'll be sure to try to answer those questions for you. See my boy Nico.
Please ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like to offer that up to folks before we end. I see half of his face. Right. That's the only thing they're worried about is seeing my face. You can see my full face on YouTube. And again, guys, I feel like I need to do a full video on this, just letting everyone know that, I only show my face on, in milestones because I play into the whole, Mando thing. So that's the reason why. And this is the way. It looks like we got Star Wars dude that wants to pop in. Let's go ahead and bring you in, buddy. What's up, man? How's it going?
I'm good.
Good to see you back. You were here earlier, so I'm always happy to have you on, man. As you know, I always bring people in for questions. So what are your questions, my friend?
What do you think about what do you think about Crosshair taking on Wrecker and the rest of the Bad Batch group?
Oh, what do I think about Crosshair taking on Wrecker and the rest of the Bad Batch? That's your question?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a good question. I think Crosshair. My predictions. There were different versions of Dark Troopers. So when the Dark Troopers were first created, there were like, human versions, like where they were just in suits. And I wouldn't doubt if he might be one of those. Just seeing how he kind of got messed up in this recent fight. If you watch the Bad Batch, that was like one of the previous episodes. He got messed up pretty bad, and I wonder if, like, to elevate him even further, like that would be the next initiative. Is he would be like, the Gen 1, Dark Trooper. As far as the Bad Batch themselves. And Gabe, I don't know if you're watching Bad Batch, but you can comment on this as well. One of the things I've always said is I feel that they are the for better lack of words, kind of like the Suicide Squad of Star Wars, where they're these cool, crazy, unique, colorful characters, but you don't necessarily see them coming out alive in the end. As sad as it is to say, Omega, totally different story. I definitely see her surviving and going on and becoming something more. But as far as the rest of the crew themselves, no, I think it's definitely a suicidal mission for sure. And I think it's going to be a crazy, tragic ending. That's just slowly progressing. Gabe, if you watch Bad Batch, feel free to comment.
Yeah, I haven't caught up with the last episode, I don't think, but I'm caught up to there, and that's a very interesting because I know that Crosshair definitely got messed up, which I thought was cool. It's he kind of got what was coming to him. I know that the clones can't control it with the inhibitor chips, but that's a really good insight with the Dark Troopers. Yeah, that's super cool. And like, aren't they like kind of like zombified like stormtroopers, and like that's why they're like So I can totally see that happening. And with Omega, since we haven't seen her in any point into the future from there, that's a good insight as well. I think that maybe something bad will happen. Maybe she'll
Yeah.
get picked off or something, or I don't know, because like nobody's ever known that Boba Fett had a sister before. So
Right. Yeah. And you know, and I talked about this earlier. I think it was in my day stream. You know, I don't think I'm sure Boba. You know, because if you watch the most recent episode of Bad Batch, you know, the Kaminoans, they sent out all these bounty hunters to go and track down Omega. So I'm sure, you know, of course, Boba Fett. I'm sure he's heard of the name. He knows about Omega, and he knows about kind of the credits that goes for, you know, collecting this bounty. But I don't think he knows the significance of who she is. And why would he? I don't think he would quite yet. But when he does, and if he does find out, you can be sure that he would probably really want to have some type of discussion or connection with her, because again, she's kind of like that last connection to his father in a sense. And I think there would be some type of loyalty and interest there. But he does not know, you know, any, you know, significance about her at all. So, but it would be interesting to see if he does find out. So, good question, man. Any other questions? Did you have any questions about the Bo-Katan film?
Really nothing about the Bo-Katan film, but I was like interested in it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you know, we'll definitely be dropping, you know, different, you know, little seeds and stuff here and there, and as production goes further along, and you know, just as Gabe wills it, I would definitely, you know, be dropping, you know, trailers and stuff like that at the right time. So, you know, you guys will definitely be the first ones to see it. And again, you know, for other little updates, you know, once it's live and set, you know, like Gabe was saying, there will be social media accounts for the fan film, so you guys can, you know, follow that as well and see some of the updates there too, which would be really cool. So yeah, plenty of stuff to come, man. Did you have any other questions?
I wonder if we're gonna see Boba Fett in like the Bad Batch and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I definitely think it, especially based off this last episode, especially with them being mentioned. Yeah, you can be for sure he's definitely coming. And there's this unused, you know, footage that they have that was in Clone Wars, you know, between him and Cad Bane. So I'm sure it's definitely coming. They mentioned him and they teased him. So it's like, come on. You can't have all these other bounty hunters make an appearance and not show us Boba Fett pretty much at this point. So yeah, I would say it's safe to, you know, say we'll definitely see him at some point for sure. Yeah, man. And if we don't, hey, we'll see him in December in the book of Boba Fett. So either way, we're going to get lots of Boba, which is going to be really cool. Yeah, man. Any other questions?
Nope, I ran out.
Hey, that's all good, man. You always come with good questions. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for popping on. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Star Wars, dude.
Yep, thank you.
All right, buddy. Take care. Yeah, guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to pop on. We love answering that stuff. And hi, thanks for sending roses. I don't know who sent those, but thank you. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. So yeah, this the film is going to be amazing, guys. I can't wait for it. Who's the can we announce that? Who's the actress that's playing Bo-Katan?
I will release that in the future, and maybe we can have a stream with all the cast. I think.
Oh
be
yes,
cool.
yes, yeah,
And,
yeah. We gotta save the sweet stuff. Yeah. Let people speculate for now. Yeah.
And yeah, you'll all see the cast at some point.
Okay.
Doing so. Yeah, I have the Instagram account is live. So, did anybody comment the name of the film?
You know, I have not been looking. Did anyone? Have you seen my stream last when Gabriel was on? Does anyone remember the title of the film? If I know my boy Hyben, he's like the legend in the live. So if anyone would know, it might be him. If you guys remember, comment below. Let me know. Before we end, do you want me to go ahead and share that? The Instagram? Let me,
so it's right here. Here's the first post. This is the announcement poster. Ooh. So
snaps.
Yeah. So can I just comment it on here, or I can just tell
I
you.
can share it on the screen if you want.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's just Bo-Katan film. That's the handle.
I will search it. Bo Katan.
Bo-Katan film, no spaces.
Hey, there it is.
Yep, that's it.
Boom.
Awesome. Yep, and that's the announcement poster. So this is the first time it's been released to the public. So this is a big moment for everyone.
Yes.
Mostly for me. But
Yeah, man. We're all excited. What is your movie? Oh. I'll answer that later. My favorite movie? That's too hard to answer, man. I have way too many. Way too many. But yeah, guys, this is live. So again, if you want specific updates, you want to stay updated, on the film, outside of the times that we go live. I think the times that we go live, it'll be for, bigger conversations like we do tonight. And then, especially going forward where, again, we'll have more moments where we can have other cast members join in. We can have other announcements, stuff like that, pertaining to the film, or other footage that, Gabriel wants to share. We might be able to do something like that going forward. So, but now the Instagram is live. Please definitely go and check that out. Follow that. And interact, because that will be probably like one of the big main sources where you guys can get a little more information about the film and just little cool updates, I think, which will be really fun. So it is live.
Yeah.
Be sure to go and follow that on Instagram. And I'm excited, man. It's happening. Production has started. And it's here, man. It's going to be amazing. So anything else did you want to say to the viewers before we end tonight?
No, I just really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for supporting the film, for tuning in live with us. It means so much to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to Dadalorian as well. And yeah, so I just thank you for that. And yeah, stay tuned for the updates. So the Instagram is live now, and I tried linking it to Facebook, but I'll figure out how that works. And yeah, I'll probably be putting in some works in progress and some stuff like that. So, and just, of course, more content and some reveals and stuff possibly. So yeah, stay updated, and yeah, awesome.
It's going to be great, you guys. I can't wait for you to see the film. And there will be many, many more updates to come. Gabriel, it is always a pleasure, good sir, to have you on. Looking forward to having you on again here soon. I had such a weird, wonky day. I was like, hey, I'm actually going to see you at 8 o'clock. I'm actually going to see you at 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock. And it's like, okay, you know what? 7:15 is a perfect time. Let's go. I was back and forth on different streams. So, but I'm glad we made it. And,
crazy schedules, but
man, you know how it goes. But so glad to have you on always, and I can't wait to have you back on talking Star Wars as we always do. You guys be great. Thank you so much for tuning in on TikTok. Again, guys, bigger goals for me. I always talk about goals whenever we're live. The next face reveal for TikTok will be at 500K. I'm always in my bucket and in Mando gear on TikTok. They know this. This is nothing new. And for YouTube, the big goal is to get to 10K subscribers. We're getting very, very close, guys. So I definitely need you guys' help to be sure, if you haven't already, come check me out on YouTube and be sure to subscribe. And I appreciate everyone that has thus far. It's so many of you guys that have come over to the platform and supporting me, across. And make sure you go and check out the Bo-Katan Chris film on Instagram. You can follow that account because there will be some cool updates there as well. So follow me on YouTube and follow the Bo-Katan fan film on Instagram for other cool updates. You guys have been amazing. I'm going to go ahead and end on the TikTok, and I will see you guys in the morning for a good morning stream. And Gabriel and everyone here with us tonight, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the way. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.